Last night I was at church dinner, and this guy was, wife was asking me what I went to school at Oklahoma State. I went to Oklahoma State. They're saying, "What's Oklahoma State known for? What are they famous for? Drama?" I said, "Not that I'm aware of. They're famous. If they're famous for anything, I guess it's wrestling. They have more NCAA wrestling team championships than any school in the history of the world. I guess they're famous for T. Boone Pickens, a corporate raider of oil companies, a multi-billionaire, and gave a bunch of money to him." I said I personally went there to Oklahoma State because I visited the school when I was in high school, and they offered me an engineering scholarship if I went there. I ended up going to Oklahoma State, partly because of that, partly because it was further south than Kansas, and I like warm weather, and obviously it's warmer in Oklahoma than Kansas just because it's further south. And I figured, just try something different. Everybody around here wants to go to KU or K State or whatever. I thought, well, whatever, I'll go to Oklahoma State. So I went there. I joined the fraternity, Beta Theta Pi. After I joined the fraternity, I was told they had the worst hazing of any fraternity at the Oklahoma State University. My dad was a Beta Theta Pi, my uncle, and guess I was a legacy, and I went there. And they did have pretty much the worst hazing, and it caused me to get a lower GPA, and I didn't get the engineering scholarship. My GPA wasn't high enough, but I stayed there at Oklahoma State and earned my degree in mechanical engineering in 4 years, as I explained. And as I said before, 90% flunked out the first semester. So I mean, 90%'s an A. So if 90% flunked out, just not to flunk out's an A, because I mean 90%'s an A, right? Yeah. Well, anyway. What was Oklahoma State known for? I also said, well, Oklahoma State used to be called Oklahoma A&M, Agriculture, Mechanical Engineering. I guess, after I went there, I figured out that the classes in engineering, petroleum engineering, electric, mechanical, chemical, a lot of it's towards the oil industry, where T. Boone Pickens, has become on the multi-billionaire doing hostile takeovers with his SAE fraternity brothers, whatever. What's his ACT score? T. Boone's ACT score? I don't know. Never been published. I got 96%, maybe can't scar. That wasn't good enough. That's another reason I went to college. As I said, I went to college because my experience is why I went to college, and my experience really made a lot of what I was being taught in college, meaning was bullshit crap, is what I said at church, and that's true. But my experience is why I went. And my experience during the process of earning my degrees, just, there was a lot of bullshit fraud with grades, crap being taught, as I said. My experience made what being taught crap, so that's the way it was. That's what it is. I went to Purdue Crannert. A lot of people think Purdue's, just strictly for operations, nothing else. That's what it's known for. Well, I didn't go for Purdue for operations. In fact, when I went, the publication said Purdue's #4 in America public for public schools, public companies. Where I come from, little private companies. My daddy's in the private economy, he has said. Little private companies, he's not a billionaire making $100 million a year in paycheck, billionaire paycheck. Little private companies, whatever you want to call it, private economy, some people think the public's the government. I say Merrill Lynch is a public company. Sprint's a public company. Video Corner was a private company. Video Corner fucked me up, didn't put money in my pocket. I was told I owned it. I just didn't go to Video Corner. I was told I owned it, 5 or 6, 7%. But my dad controlled the ownership, and he used his control to fuck me up, whatever he is. If he's my dad or somebody who looks like him, a mafia, whatever. I don't care. The money didn't go in my pocket. So as I said before, whether I own the place or not, I don't work for fucking free. The issue of trespassing at a public company like Merrill Lynch Sprint, I'll buy 1 share as a token that I own it. That's a minority. Damn right. Yeah, there's no doubt it's a minority, but there is no 51% or more greater person. If no one owns 51% or more to be the majority owner, everyone's a minority owner, so we're all minority owners, faggots. We're going to get the knocks. That's why I said nuke them, because they're punks and faggots. Maximize stock owner value. Well, Purdue, Crannert, it was #4 public for public companies. And I come from a little fucking, whatever, private economy world that some people, it had nothing to do with operations. And there were no publications when I went in 1983 that said anything about operations. And, the operations teacher with his long kind of goofy dog, Snoopy haircut, whatever you want to call it, cool guy, whatever. He came up to me and said, well, I was in the gym one time. What am I doing in the gym? Why aren't I studying? What business was it of his, And he said he personally was the reason that Krannert was a top famous, it was a famous school or whatever, because his operations management, he was, maybe it was that, but there was no way for me to know it. I was from Kansas, who was top five in America. That's why. I mean, there was no publications that said it's only top in operations back then. And I don't think I was the only person who went there. But, all these people think it's strictly for operations, nothing else. Well, I think the number of people studying operations when I went there was, not that many percent of the class. Maybe it was. I think most people were studying finance or marketing. Maybe 5 or 10% was concentrating in operations. I didn't. I studied finance, marketing, strategic planning. And so really back then, none of the business publications, classified business schools either, specifically geared towards marketing, operations, finance. It was just top 10, produced top 10. And maybe it was top 10 because of operations, but really there was no way for me to know that, and the publications never indicated that. And that's not why I went there. I did go there because it was an engineering type school, Purdue, and my engineering degree numbers, and that's what I am, a number guy. But I mean, I think really, maximize stock owner value just because you own the company doesn't mean you get a paycheck. It's all a bunch of shit in reality. My experience made it shit. I guess human resources. They said everything boils down to that. You're no different than everybody else. Finance teacher said you're no different than everybody else. 93% on GMAT babies and my BS mechanical engineering in 4 years. And I'll also say not only did I earn it in 4 years, I did something. I didn't go to school and take a bunch of little kindergarten classes like I told the barbershop great clip yesterday. Compare apples to apples, rodents to rodents. I took classes most people can never pass. I didn't take kindergarten classes at college to get straight A's. I mean, I think, and I did something, and that's what I stand by with my engineering degree and my Purdue Krannert. I stand by simply as good as it gets. Now bring me the 20 billion and stick them all in jail for the rest of their punk ass faggot lives. Because that's what it's about. Me being the richest man in the world, me living lifestyles of the rich. I really don't care if I'm famous, just fucking filthy rich. Famous, who gives a shit? Just so fucking much money, I'm living in luxury like I'm supposed to, faggots. Whatever. What else can I say about it? I'm not living the luxury billionaire a year in paycheck precedence. You ever heard of paycheck precedence? Precedence has made ownership meaningless since I was high school. Precedence of disrespect, as this Wayne Witcher boy yesterday in anger control said, well, you shouldn't go around making threats. I said, I only make threats in self-defense and reaction to people, things have done to me. And then I do something, people twist around, make up more crap, and then pisses me off even more. So what's your problem, faggots? What's your ACT score, faggots? What's your college degree, faggot high school dropout equivalent punk scum? Baby faggots? Yeah. What is that, faggot?